everyone. Today is Friday, January 18th, and welcome to another Vlogcast. I am Heather, and for those of you who are new or just joining, I am a United Methodist pastor serving two churches in rural mid-Michigan. And these Vlogcasts are just kind of little glimpses into my life as far as like what I am doing with my churches and what I am knitting and what my family is up to. I live in a parsonage, which is a home owned by one of my churches, with my two kids, Abby, who is 13, and Philip, who is 8, and our Rhodesian Ridgeback dog, Flint, who you maybe just heard getting in the chair. That's like right over there, because that's what he likes to do, is sit in the chair. So I thought I would just start off this vlog by giving you kind of an update of what I've been working on in the past week, because I didn't vlog last week, so I thought I'd show you kind of what's been going on knitting wise. I have been working away on my texture time. I started this as the MCal back in October, and I put it down, and I decided that in the new year I was going to pick it up and keep working on it. So I have finished both parts of section 3. So this is the one side of section 3, and then I have started, and then here's the other part of section 3, and then I have started working on section 4, which is this, and I've got two more of these, like they're called kitty paws, these kitty paws to do on this side, and then I have to do it again on the other side. And I think because I have the yarn, I may do the optional border. I haven't decided fully yet. It may depend on how tired I am of this by the time I finish it on the other side. It's really not, I mean, it's kind of mindless. You do have to pay attention a little bit when you're doing these eyelets, just because it's easy to lose track and get things off center, which I did and was having like a horrible time with this particular set right here. I ripped it back and then I tinked it back. It was awful. It wasn't going very well, but I got it done, and now I'm on to the last two repeats with that. So that's where I am with my texture time, and I thought I'd show it at the beginning of the week, and then I'll show it again in 1 week, and we can see how far I've gone. And then the other thing is my on-the-go knitting, which is just a pair of vanilla socks, and these are Knit Picks Felici. The colorway is called Cheshire Grin, and I have just put the heel in. And I am using contrasting colors for the heels, cuffs, and toes because I just have one ball, and I can get a decent length when I do that with just one ball because I do not have very large feet, so that kind of helps. This is the second sock. The other sock is over there on the table, and I'm not going to go get it because it's just a vanilla sock with these stripes. The stripes don't match because I only have one ball. I don't want to waste any trying to match stripes. So that's where I am with these. And those are the only two projects other than the blankets that I have going at the moment. I did make a Knit Picks order because I needed some wool wash, and I have been eyeing Kristen who's Voolenvine, her sparkling cider hat, and that's something I really wanted to work on. So I picked up a couple of one skein of yarn and some mohair, and I couldn't resist. I swatched for it. So this is what my sparkling cider hat will kind of look like. And I did get some beads that match it. I don't know if you can see the halo right there of the mohair, and it's really soft. And that, I wasn't sure how it was going to feel, but it doesn't feel scratchy. I don't know how it'll feel on my head. I hope it'll be okay because I like it a lot, and it's really soft and nice. So that's the other thing that I did. And then, sorry about him. The other thing I really could not resist. Molly of a Homespun House dyed this new colorway called Hawking, and she put it in a shawl kit, and it just was me in like every way imaginable. So I picked up the shawl kit. There it is. It's purples. So it's a 3-color shawl. I know, it's in the package. It's hard to see. But it's beautiful, and I'm super excited about it. And this may become an oracle shawl. We'll have to see. Because I've been wanting to knit that as well. And those are so my colors. Like, you can kind of tell in this. But they're perfect. So that's what I've been up to. That's what I have been knitting on. Today, like I said, it's Friday. It's my day off. I'm trying to get a few things done around the house, like take down the Christmas tree. I know, how horrible is that? My Christmas tree is still up, but it's coming down. It's in the process. I've got like half the ornaments off. I just have to take off the last ones and take it down. And everything else from Christmas is down except for a couple of tablecloths, which one has a game set up on it that I'm going to have to take down because it's been on my table for a week. And then the other one has a puzzle on it. And it can't go away until the puzzle's done. So those tablecloths will stay out for a little bit because they have stuff on them at the moment. Well, the one will go off this weekend. The other one, I don't know, because the puzzle is harder than we thought it was going to be. Tonight, Abby has her last diving meet, which is her league meet. So we will be going to that. We're supposed to get snow tonight and tomorrow, which makes things a little awkward because Philip, who usually would go back to his dad tonight, is going back to his dad tomorrow. So I may be taking him to his dad in a little bit of snow. So that's kind of the plan for this evening. So I'm going to sign off for now and talk to you guys in a little while. It is now Friday evening, and it's kind of late because I had to take Abby back to her dad, which is not really a short drive. We're back home from the diving meet, which went really, really well. Abby did the best that she has done, which is good because this was the championship meet, and she even medaled. She came in 7th place, which was kind of amazing. The top 8 girls and boys got medals, and so she came in 7th, and it was really awesome. I'm so happy for her, and I am so proud of her. She worked really hard and really came far throughout the season. And I think we are going to continue diving with a club that is a little ways away from here, but she really loves it a lot, and she wants to dive in high school. And if she doesn't dive again until high school, she's going to get behind. And so I just think that it would be good for her because it's something that she really loves to do, and it's something that she really loves to do it, and it makes her really excited and really happy, and it's so good to see her excited and happy. So we'll see if we can make that work. I'm hoping that we'll be able to. I think we will. It will be a little bit difficult in some ways, but worth it for her happiness. So I am kind of tired, but I want to sit down and I want to knit a little bit and before I go to bed. So I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Good morning. It is Saturday morning, January 19th, and we are in the process of a snowstorm. We got quite a bit of snow overnight, and it's still coming down. They were predicting between 3 and 6 inches of snow through last night and today. It's supposed to end this evening, so things should be cleared off and ready to go for my church services tomorrow. But yep, we are getting quite a bit of snow right now. This is the first real snow we've had since November. So this is pretty significant. It's still coming down. It's kind of small, fine flakes, so it's hard to see on this video. But, yep, winter storm. So this is the result of all of the snow. It's hard to tell how much is out there because it's been blowing and drifting, but I would say probably 6 inches that we got. And then, yeah, this is how it is. It's very cold as well. So I'm about to take Phil to meet his dad. I hope that the roads are clear and that goes okay. Hi guys, it's Sunday afternoon and I just got home from church and I'm still dressed for church. I haven't changed yet and it is so cold today. Oh my goodness. It was probably, I think my car said it was -5, just straight temperature, not even with wind chill, on the way to church this morning. And I actually had kind of a lower turnout than normal, probably because of the weather, because it's so cold. And we did get the snow yesterday, but yeah, it's super cold. Fortunately, my churches were all warm, so that wasn't a big deal. But I'm back home now, and I don't have anything going on today after church. Philip is going to spend tonight with his dad because tomorrow being Martin Luther King Day, he does not have school, and his dad doesn't have to work, so he's going to spend the day there. And then Abby has to spend the day at her dad's house, assisting after a surgery her stepmom had. So I am kidless until tomorrow evening, so I'm just going to kind of enjoy this beautiful, cold afternoon. The sun is shining, so at least that makes up for the fact that it is really, really cold. It's supposed to get even colder tonight. So we are snuggled in. Flint is enjoying his sunbeam at the moment because sunbeams still feel good, even if it's cold outside. And I am just sitting down and I am working on binding off one side of my texture time. About halfway done with the bind off. And so this won't take me very long to finish. And then after I'm done with that, I'm going to do some scrappy blanket work today because it is Scrappy Sunday. So I'm going to work on, I don't know if I'm going to work on my cozy memory blanket or my granny stripe blanket. I have not decided yet. But this is definitely getting finished. I'm going to definitely finish binding this off because, yeah, that will feel good. So I hope you guys all have had a great weekend, and I will... Today's Monday, January 21st, and I've had an interesting day so far. I kind of a busy morning with some weirdness around a memorial service that I wasn't doing, but my church was involved in. Yeah, it was a little strange. But that's all taken care of now. It is like super, super cold, and by cold, I mean it's not above zero. I think when I woke up this morning, it was -11, was like the straight up temperature. So it's pretty chilly today. It is supposed to warm up some tomorrow and be a little bit more normal, like in the 20s. But it's been very, very cold today as it was yesterday. But the sun is shining, which is wonderful. So hooray for the sun shining. I realize I look like super washed out right now. I apologize for that. Anyway, so Monday. So it's super cold. I made it to the gym this morning after a meeting because I had been very woefully terrible about going to the gym since I got the flu. So I got to get back to that because, wow, could I feel it in my lungs that I have not been to the gym. So that felt good. And then I did something really exciting this afternoon. I went over and I ordered furniture because one of the things that my parishioners did for me. So let's see where to start. One of my parishioners at one of my churches, their family own a furniture company, and I was reading, and it was founded in like 1892. There's been this furniture company in this little tiny town in the middle of nowhere, and people come from all over to shop there because it's really high quality stuff. So one of the things that my parishioners did for me, and the owners, because they're parishioners of mine, did for me was give me a gift certificate to go and pick out some furniture. So we went shopping last week and picked out what we liked and kept some samples, brought some samples home. And so today I officially ordered it. So in 4 weeks, I'm gonna have new furniture. And I will either have put it before this or put it after this, a little clip of the pieces that I picked out. I got a sofa and a dining table and chairs, and I am so excited about them. But the one thing I wanted to talk to you guys about a little bit is this week, during the work week, like that's a thing for me, Monday through Friday is the 5 Shawls 5 Days challenge by Frenchie of Heatheredknitz. I don't think you can sign up for it anymore, unfortunately. And today was the first day, so I knit my first little mini shawl, a triangle shawl. And the idea behind this is to kind of like learn more about shawl construction. And if you want to design anything, it kind of teaches you the shapes and how the shapes are made. I didn't do anything other than just the standard shawl because as much as I'd like to play around with that, I have such limited time. I just kind of wanted to do it, to enjoy it, and it's a good way to use up little scraps. So I will be doing that this week, so you're going to get to see my 5 shawls. So this is the first one, the triangular shawl. Now I am about ready to head off to pick up Philip from his dad because he will be home tonight. Unfortunately for him, I have a meeting, so he's going to have to go with me to that, and that's going to be the rest of my day, is getting Philip and a meeting. Yay! So I hope all of you your week's off to a good start, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Hello everyone, it is Tuesday, January 22nd, and it is day 2 of the 5 Shawls 5 Days workshop, and this is the shawl for day 2. It's a crescent shaped shawl, and you'll have to forgive my kind of pokey blocking here. I was just doing it very quickly to have a chance to dry. So this is the shape for today. As far as other stuff for today, I don't really have much going on, so not a whole lot to report here, but I did want to show you today's shape. And for those of you who are curious, this yarn that I'm using is from Mowry of a Homespun House, and it's actually a little more orangey than it is showing up on camera at the moment. It's hard to get kind of a true color here. It's a little orangier than this, but this is from Mowry of a Homespun House, and this colorway is called Pumpkin Pasties, and it was one of the Harry Potter Club colorways this past year for September, I think it was. It must have been September because I don't believe that I did the club for October, November, and December, so it must have been September. But yeah, and I knit a pair of socks out of this, and so I'm using the leftovers, and it is an MCN, and it is so beautiful, and it feels amazing. So that's what this one is. So it's now Friday afternoon, and I just kind of wanted to wrap up this week's Vlogcast with just kind of a recap of the week. So we ended up having 2 days off of school, so 2 ice days really, because of freezing rain and the temperatures dropping, and the kids were home both Wednesday and Thursday, so I didn't record a whole lot those days because they were around and we were doing things. And they are back to school today. And looking at the weather forecast, we're supposed to get like a gigantic snowstorm on Monday, and like they're saying like 14 to 16 inches of snow when it's all said and done. So Monday will be a question mark as to whether or not there is school or what's going to happen. But I won't go into that really with this because that's next week. So I wanted to just real quickly hop on and recap what I have accomplished knitting wise this week. But I do want to say I'm wearing my So Faded pullover by Andrea Mowry that I knit this summer. So this is the pullover. I love it. It is like, it's like an odd angle to like stand up and show the whole thing at once, but you get the idea. I love it. It turned out perfectly. I could not be happier. I think this is like my favorite sweater that I have ever knit because it just, the colors are perfect and you can see the fade right there and the yarn is awesome and it's very me. So I'm very happy with it. So this week in knitting, you saw earlier in the week, one of the things that I was doing was the 5 Shawls 5 Days workshop by heatheredknitz, and I kind of copped out on today's shawl because it's a square shawl, and starting pie shawls and square shawls, for those of you who have ever done them, those are, you know, shawls that you start with a very small number of stitches in the center and you build out from there. They're not easy to start. Even an experienced knitter, I'm sure, struggles a little bit with, because you have a very small number of stitches, usually on double pointed needles, and it can just be really challenging. And I started to do it and it was being really fussy, and I just went, you know, I don't really want to waste any of my time doing that. I'd rather be knitting on other things. But I did want to show you the first 4 shawls at least. Like I said, I showed some of those to you earlier, so I'm just going to go through them quickly. This is the day 1, and this was a triangular shawl. Day 2 was the crescent shawl, which is probably one of my favorite shawl shapes, personally. Day 3 was the asymmetrical shawl, which is another one of my favorite shawl shapes because you knit on along the bias, so you don't end up with like an insane number of stitches at the end, which I like. That's the drawback with crescent shawls, because you end up with hundreds of stitches, literally hundreds of stitches, whereas these you usually end up with like 100 or 150 at the most. So I prefer working on these. And then the day 4 was the 3/4 shawl, which is not particularly one of my favorites, but I did do an I-cord edge on this one, so you can see that. So those were my 4 shawls. The yarn that I used was from Molly of a Homespun House, and it was her Pumpkin Pasties colorway. It was a Harry Potter club, and I knit a pair of socks out of this, and so I was using up some of the leftovers to knit those shawls. So that's how those have been. I did finish a pair of socks, which I forgot to put on sock blockers, so I'm going to do that real quick. This is actually my first finished object of 2019. I realize that's kind of pathetic because it's January 25th and I'm just finishing one object. But I don't have gobs and gobs of knitting time, unfortunately. But I finished this pair of vanilla socks. These are for me. The colorway, it's Knit Picks Felici in the Cheshire Grin, and I used a Knit Picks Stroll in the Duchess Heather colorway for the contrasting heels, cuffs, and toes. And I think they turned out really, really nicely, and I am pleased with those. So those are finished. So yay, that was done. I need another pair of vanilla socks to be cast on because I have to have something like that with me for whatever it is that I'm doing. And then the other thing I've been working on has been my texture time, and I am making progress. I'm almost done with section 4. So this is gigantic. This was Stephen West's Mystery Knit Along back in October, and I started doing it as the Mystery Knit Along, but it is freaking ginormous. Like, this is one side of it. It doesn't even fit on the screen. If I lean back, maybe. So that's like one side, and there's still an optional border, which I've decided I'm a crazy person and I'm going to do because I purchased the yarn and I still have like over 50 grams left of the 2 other colors, and I'd rather use that up than just have like 50 grams of yarn floating around. So I'm still plugging away at this. This is section 4. This is the one side. It's called Kitty Paws. And then the other side, I am super, super close to being done with. It's at least the side is cast off and it's not still on like being held. The stitches aren't still being held, which makes it a lot more manageable because my yarn kept getting tangled on that. So this is the other side and I am almost done. I just have to do this eyelet row and then like 3 more rows of garter, and then I will be able to bind off this side and start in on the border and deal with all of these lovely ends. So this has come along. I really would like to get this part finished before my classes start. Not this week, but next week. They will start, or not this coming week, but the following week. My classes are going to start back up again. And then my knitting time is just going to like plummet because I don't have any free time when I'm taking classes too. I did though decide that I wanted to cast on the sparkling cider hat, which I've been planning on knitting and I swatched for earlier in the week, and I decided I was just going to cast that on because it's a hat and it will go quickly, and this is so big and overwhelming. I really did kind of need a break from this. And that's worked out well because it has been my travel knitting the last couple, or was my travel knitting today for the bus stop runs. So I'm not very far. I'm still working on the brim, but this is going to be my sparkling cider hat. The colorways are, I can't remember what they are off the top of my head. But they are from Knit Picks. I just decided to purchase some Knit Picks yarn when I was placing another order. So you can see like the beautiful lace, the beautiful halo from the mohair, and it's super, super soft. So this can be kind of my travel on-the-go knitting until I get to the actual pattern because it has beads, which I've never done beads before, and I've never knit with mohair before, so there's a couple firsts happening with this. I'll show you the balls independently. This is the mohair, which is, I think it's called a loft, maybe. It's kid silk mohair, and I think eggplant is this colorway, which is a really beautiful rich purple. And then this is an MCN. I can't remember the colorway name, but this is a new thing that they were trying, this like hand painted MCN, which is really pretty beautiful. And if you want to try an MCN but don't want to spend $30+ on a skein, I believe this was $20, which is, can still be a little bit pricey, but it's certainly worth giving it a try and seeing if you like it. It's not like as soft and luxurious as, say, Molly's, but it does feel really nice, and when you pair these together, it's giving me a really soft, nice fabric. So yeah, that's been what I have been knitting on in the past week. The last thing I wanted to show you guys before I sign off for the week is an acquisition that I got. My brother gifted me for Christmas a $25 gift certificate to Etsy, and I thought about getting some yarn, but I said, you have enough yarn. You do not need to purchase any more yarn. What you really need is a medium to large size project bag to carry projects that are bigger than just a pair of socks or a hat. So like something that can hold a shawl or something along those lines. So I went to, there was a designer that I had been following with her bags. I follow her on Instagram, and it is Tannei Casey. And this is the card for anybody who is curious. And she does like canvas and like waxed canvas bags, and I purchased this. I believe it is the large size drawstring canvas bag from her, and it does like open up so that it will sit. It's got like a square bottom, and then inside is this tan material, and it's got a pocket, a really sturdy pocket, and I don't know if you can see this, but it also has eyelets, which would be really great for threading 2 separate balls of yarn through. And then her label is also on the inside there. So It is a really like heavy duty, really solid, well-crafted bag. I have not pulled the drawstrings yet, so let's do that. Let's see. These are a little bit stiff, but I believe that with time, these will loosen up. So this is the project bag that I purchased, and I really, really like it. I'm very pleased with it, and I'm glad that that's how I decided to use my my gift card. I don't have a project in it right now, but there will be a project in it before too long, because this needs like an extra large project bag. Look at this. Look at this. It's gigantic. It is longer than I am, like from head to foot. It's like the wingspan is like taller than I am. It's insane. So I'm gonna stop babbling now and call it a week. I hope you enjoyed this vlog and seeing how things have been going for me this past week. I'm going to take a week off of doing this, and then I will check back in with you again next week. But you can always check my Instagram page for photos of projects that I'm currently working on. My Ravelry page is kept updated with my projects and what I've been working on there. I will try to remember to put links to the things that I've talked about in this video in the down bar here on YouTube so that you can find them more easily. And then that's kind of the extent of what I will be doing for show notes, because I don't have a lot of time to do that. It'll probably just be links to patterns, probably not to yarn. If you are interested in that, you can check out my Ravelry page, or you can message me and I will let you know that sort of stuff as well. So I hope you guys all had a great week. For those of you who are experiencing winter weather or are going to be experiencing winter weather in the days to come, please be careful and be safe. It is going to be very cold here in Michigan, as well as very snowy. So please keep yourselves warm and safe. And I will talk to you all in about 2 weeks. All right, bye guys.